Well, I guess as we're getting ready to head into this football Wednesday here, I guess you could say that the Detroit Lions just had $180 million lying around. Mm. And welcome everybody to Stay Tuned Sports right here. I'm your boy King, hanging out with you here on this Wednesday, October 29th of the year 2025. Yes, we're all old now. Everybody's old. Doesn't matter. You could just be born yesterday. You're old. It's 2025. We're all old. But thank you so much for joining us here on Stay Tuned Sports. If you want to help us out at all, please hit that like button, hit that share button. And if you have not yet subscribed, please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. We also have more direct forms of assistance if you want to help us out with our donation station and our merch store. Both of those links in the top of the chat, which is open right now. We see ELS, we see Crafty in there as well as the description below this video. Those links are available there as well. Now, before we get into Aidan Hutchinson, the Lions, got some other news as well to go through here in the NFL, and we'll go through all that with you here. Wanted to give a word from our somewhat sponsor, kind of sponsor. If you buy their stuff, they will give me money sponsor, Dubby. And here's the thing with Dubby. If you're having a little bit of a problem grinding through your day, staying up at night, studying, watching games like we do here, especially if you're watching a baseball game that goes 18 innings till 3 a.m. in the morning, if you're doing something like that, listen, this is going to be for you because you don't need any of that other stuff out there that gives you the sugar crashes, gives you the headaches, gives you the crack shakes. You don't need it. All you need is Dubby. It's the clean energy drink there for you. It helps you build focus, stamina, and again, zero jitters. You don't have any. You're not going all nuts and fluttery and fizzy, as it were. Dubby is packed with vitamins, and it also has the science-backed neurofactor that makes you listen. The way this NFL season's going, you need some of that to try to predict what the hell is going to happen every single week. Dubby is going to help you predict NFL games. That's patent pending. No claims are made that are true, but maybe. Neurofactor helps you, gives you a bigger brain. So if you're wrong, then it's not Dubby's fault or Neurofactor's fault. It's just that you made a big guess, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, it can help you. It does all that stuff. And again, no sugar. None of that extra stuff in there, none of that crappy stuff in there that's going to go ahead and, kill your organs and turn you into a big blob of slop. Nothing's going to do that for you there with Dubby. Dubby has got your back. So whether you're streaming 3 NFL games in a day like I do, or if you're studying, lifting, smashing those game controller buttons, or if you're just smashing, you know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more. Dubby has got your back. Now go to WGG right now. That's DUBBY.GG and use code STSports for 10% off of your first order. That's DUBBY.GG. And don't forget the code STSports for your 10% discount. Dubby Energy, be better. Okay. So now we've got that out of the way, ladies and gentlemen. Let us talk about this lovely, lovely deal that Aidan Hutchinson has just signed with the Detroit Lions. Got himself broken off. By the way, great to see Lloyd in the chat. Flock is in the chat. Great to see you there, Seahawks Flock. Again, we mentioned ELS is in there. ELS in the chat says, hey, we need that brain power for my trivia on Thursday, Sunday, and Monday Night Football games. Absolutely. You're going to have to go ahead and go to w.gg. Code ST Sports. Go get it. You could do it. You could do it, ELS. I promise you. Plus, the flavors are delicious. They really are. They're very good. Anyway, yes, Aidan Hutchinson becomes the highest paid player, non-quarterback anyway, non-quarterback player. Specific quarterbacks have to be in their own category, but he is now the highest paid player, non-quarterback in NFL history. And we can go ahead and read some of this. See what we have here. Let's pull this up. Let me pull this up here. Where are we? Hold on. Buttons. That's just me, Mr. See, smashing buttons. I did. Here we go. Of course, this is from ESPN. Aidan Hutchinson reaches 4-year deal worth $180 million. Detroit edge rusher Aidan Hutchinson is signing a 4-year, $180 million extension that includes $141 million guaranteed. Said his agent Mike McCartney, not Mike McCarthy, Mike McCartney. Hutchinson, he's going to be averaging $45 million in average salary, trails only Green Bay's Micah Parsons among non-quarterbacks in the NFL, and the guarantee is the biggest among non-quarterbacks. So the contract is not the biggest. The guarantee is the highest among non-quarterbacks. Okay, see, this is why we read. It's good to read, folks. Guarantee, according to the roster management system. Hutchinson, who's only 25 years old, is a cornerstone of the Lions defense, already establishing himself as one of the top pass rushers in the National Football League. He's been able to return to his dominant form in 2025 after a terrible, awful, horrendous leg break that we all saw kind of just whipped around. Just oh God, it makes me think of my poor boy Cam. Skidaboo! Oh God. I miss you, Cam. Anyway, Hutchinson, he's got 6 sacks this season, while 29 quarterback pressures, ranked second in the NFL behind only the aforementioned Micah Parsons. And his 4 fumbles are tied for the most with Joey Bosa. Hutchinson also played nearly 93% of the Lions' defensive snaps this season, the highest rate among defensive linemen, according to ESPN's very own research. He is also tied for second in sacks, interceptions created, meaning he earned the pass rush wins on most of those plays, which of course we get that. Okay, now they're talking. We know all that. So that's the thing when it comes to Aidan Hutchinson. That was the question. Was like when he came back from his leg injury, was that is he going to be the same player? Is he going to be able to perform? What are we going to do? And I'm wondering if the Lions kind of held off on that for a little bit too. Like let's see how he does. Let's see how he does. And now he's putting up the numbers that he has already in this season. And the Lions went and said, hey, you know what? I like the cut of your jib. I like the way you go ahead and play that game. And they said, all right, we're going to throw the bank at you. We're going to go ahead and get you paid off there. And you're going to be a Lion. You're going to be a Lion. Aidan Hutchinson's going to be a Lion for life, I think, at this point. But again, the guy's a beast. He's fantastic. Now here's the question too. We've seen it happen with the Steelers, at least anyway. These guys get paid, and then all of a sudden, the defense suffers. Is this something that's going to happen with Detroit? I don't think so. Detroit does need to play, I think, a little bit more consistent. I think a lot of the NFL teams do, though. I think that's a question we discussed yesterday a bit on the Power Ranking show, on the Countdown, and it's been a question all year, especially this year with the NFL, is just getting more consistency out of everybody. Right now, the only real consistent team has been the Colts, in my mind. They've been top to bottom, maybe the most consistently performing team on offense, defense, special teams. Maybe the best team in the NFL. Well, not maybe. I have them ranked number 1. A lot of people do as well. But I do think that they are the most consistent. Can they stay that consistent throughout their... Now, for the Lions, here's the question for the Lions. Is this a thing? Like, how much more... Some people might say, oh, well, he got paid, so now he's going to do even better. How do you do even better than what he's doing? He's doing great. Like, again, he's only trailing Micah by a little bit when it comes to pressures. And what was it? What was his sacks? Because he's got 33 pressures. He's got 4 forced fumbles. Where's his... I thought they had his sack numbers here. Oh, 8. He's got 8 sacks created and 2 interceptions created. So they didn't actually say what his sacks number were. So either way, like, again, how much better can he actually get? I don't even know. Crafty was like, well, of course, this article's from ESPN. It's got McAfee's mug plastered all over it. Leave McAfee. Leave McAfee alone. I like Pat McAfee. He's all right. He's a good guy. But yeah, I'm just wondering, like myself, I'm just sitting here wondering, like, what does this do now for the rest of the market? Now, who's the next guy coming up? Who's the next defensive player that's going to be up for a contract that's going to look for something like this. Now, Miles already got his bag. Suffered in Cleveland. Oh, he suffered. Well, he made that choice for himself, so that's what he's got. Micah, he's got his bag up in Green Bay now. Now, Aidan Hutchinson, he's got his bag. What are we looking at next? Like Jalen Carter maybe with the Eagles? Would he be looking for another deal, a new deal to be more commensurate with how the market is going up here? I would have said Nick Bosa, maybe looking to get, maybe change his contract or extension, or whatever, but he's always injured. So he doesn't, I mean, literally, he doesn't have a leg to stand on. So, looking around at other, look at maybe Verse from the Rams, because he's still on a rookie deal, I believe. So that would be, that might be the next one that gets paid if he continues his way. And so far this season, he has. So that's going to be interesting to see what this does now. Obviously, we know the market's kind of been reset. Micah kind of reset it. Aidan Hutchinson here now, kind of we know where the market is now. Where is Verse going to end up on this particular chart when his time comes up to get it? Or will the Rams try to play hardball? I don't know. If I'm the Rams, I don't. Again, you had Aaron Donald retired, and then you have Verse come in there. Or Verse, sorry. I'm thinking of older players because I'm old. I need more of that W neuro factor. You got Verse coming in there right after Aaron Donald. It's you have an immediate replacement for a massive game-changing defensive end edge rusher. I wouldn't fuck around with that. I would just pay the man. Just pay the man. I think that's the way it should go. Detroit's looking at it from that vantage point as well. And that's the other thing, too. The way the cap is going and the way the amount of money that is coming into the NFL, this isn't going to be the detriment to getting other pieces to get there to play for you that you would think like it used to be. It used to be like if a player really got a big contract, boy, you're not going to get anybody else to go there. They don't have the money to do it. It's going to be a big cap hit, blah, 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 blah. I feel that this seems like almost like it's a steal. Almost like, yeah, he's getting paid. Again, it's not a steal in that sense, but it's like doing this now as it goes on. Think of the Patrick Mahomes deal, when they gave him the 10-year, $500 million deal, looking back on that, that's a pretty good steal. Now he's getting his contract, they change it and fix it. Again, that's the other thing too that I think a lot of people forget when they hear things like that is these contracts and these cap numbers and these hits and all this stuff, all of it really means nothing. If you have a good salary cap guy, if you have a good, you got good numbers guys, good lawyers, good accountants and everything like that, you can finagle the numbers to really say and do whatever you want. You can alter guys' contracts and then they still get paid, whether it's putting a guaranteed or do something like that. There's ways to do all these things to circumvent the cap and to change contracts. And so on the surface, things might look like, either that's a low number or look at how he's restructuring his contract to help the team. And it's like, in a sense, but he's still getting his money. It's not like he's taking lower money and doing it. No, they're just shuffling. It's a card game. It's a shell game. They're just moving everything around. So it gives them the opportunity and the cap space, and with all the other bylaws and clauses and subsection 5s of clause 8 of appendice 3, whatever, all the lawyer shit that I don't know. I'm not nearly smart enough to know. That's what helps it get all that done. So when you look at a lot of these things and people say, they're not going to be able to get away with that. The cap's going to hurt. If you have a good cap guy, if you have good accountants, you can work yourself around it. Tampa Bay has a great cap guy. A lot of the teams that you see that are very successful and are always keeping and getting their big stars and big guys, they got good cap people. The Saints don't. Sorry, Peacock. Like, again, there's some teams that they're still working on the whole getting the right people and right accountants and right lawyers on the job. A lot of them don't, but some do. And those are the ones that you're able to see that are always able to, you're like, how are they always able to sign these people and do these things? That's why. And you'd figure with the Ford family being in charge of the Ford Motor Company that they would probably have pretty decent accountants and people that know how to circumvent particular financial loopholes and laws and shit like that. So, I mean, it just seems like that they would be able to do that. ELS in the chat, he says, I guess that verse should be the next guy to get the big contract. I do believe that as well. ELS giving us a little fun fact here about the World Series. In any best of 7 series tied at 2-2, the Game 5 winner has won the series 46 of 68 times, which is 67.6%. So whoever wins Game 5 of the World Series most likely will win the World Series. Hopefully it's the Dodgers and not those smelly Canadians. Crafty says, off topic here. But this particular emoji in YouTube, if you guys want to join us in the chat, by the way, you can. It is open. Come join the community. Is it supposed to be 2 elbows touching? But is it really? Let me see. What is that? Is it? No, that's 2. Isn't that 2 fishes kissing or something? I don't know. I have no idea. Crafty in the chat also says the Saints are the 8s when it comes to cap space. And, well, they're also kind of the 8s in the record book right now, too. But it is what it is. Seahawks flock. He says the Saints keep digging themselves into the bigger and bigger financial hole they need to pay in the future. Thankfully, they have been better about it. No, that's what I mean. Is the Saints the last 5 to 7 years were put themselves in such terrible financial straits and had no real idea what they were doing with the salary cap and with their contracts, that they're still coming out of it. And that was my whole point with talking with Pecan, our resident Saints fan, and talking with others as well. Is that's why I kind of feel like if I was a Saints fan, I would almost feel a little sense of pride because we're going out there with a team that this team needs to be severely rebuilt from top to bottom, just right down to the foundation and rebuild it. And a lot of that is because of the salary cap situation. But the fact that team is going out there, yeah, they're 1-7, but they fight in every single one of these games, even the one where they get blown out. They fucking put effort in, man. They're not quitting. They haven't quit, and I enjoy that about a team, even if they're not great, even if you're not a good team, but that you show stick-to-itiveness. You go out there into kind of knowing, it may not be our day, but you still go out there and you give it 110%. You leave everything out there. I love that. I love that about the team. So that's what I love about the Saints. And again, I think they will get. They'll get there. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to the cap situation. If they're being smarter about it, if they get the right people in there, they will get above that. They will get through this part. And then once they do, like, who doesn't want to play in New Orleans? ELS in the chat, he says, Kennesaw State went from 2-10 last year to bowl eligible in 2025. Go Kennesaw State. What are they again? Kennesaw State. Are they like the Owls? I forget the mascot. The logo. I know the KS logo. I know the Kennesaw State logo is like the KS interlocked. It's not like it's a nice logo. I just forget what their mascot was. Crafty says, looks more like a moon landing to me. Seahawks said, speaking of the Saints, Shuck has been named the starter for the rest of the season. I did see that. And that's kind of, like, I get that too. It seems like the team is like Rattler didn't play bad for the first part of the season. The last couple games he didn't play well. That's clear. But I don't think he played horrendously. But it seems like that the Saints want to go in that direction. That's fine. And again, I never want to give up on young quarterbacks too early. Now, Spencer Rattler, he's kind of got a weird history about him. Maybe not the nicest guy in the world. All those other things, extra baggage, if you will, things about him. And you can look at that one or the other. But again, when it comes to a young quarterback, I don't want to give up on people too early. I don't want to give up on people, especially young, talented quarterbacks like that. So hopefully he can go somewhere, maybe as a backup, maybe something like get an opportunity and see if he can shine and see if he has that. And if he doesn't, then it is what it is. But hopefully he can do something like that. And then when it comes to Shuck, we'll see what he can do with full reps, full practice, and having the team under him. And Kellen Moore seems to be comfortable with him there, as it seems for right now. They've gone through half the season, and maybe that was the plan too. Go half the season, see where they were, and then depending on where they were, whether they would stick with, depending on how Rattler performed, what they would do, and see what they had with Shuck. It seems like they've gone through halfway through the season. They're 1-7. Well, they're gonna look and see what they have with Shuck, and see what happens here. Crafty in the chat says the Saints are the MC Hammers of the NFL because they are just too legit to quit. I love Crafty is by far one of the best dad jokers out there. I love Crafty. Thank you so much for joining us. And by the way, if you want to join us in the chat is open. Come in, say hi, say hello, say how you doing. Join the community. If you want to help us out, by the way, if you like any part of this that you're watching, and why would you? But if you do, hit that like button, hit that share button, and of course, if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. Helps us out tremendously. There was a couple other things, obviously, wanted to talk about here. Terry McLaurin out again. Unfortunately, it seems like this is. I think this is why Washington didn't want to pay him, and why they were kind of playing hardball with him, because he wanted that Cortland Sutton money, and he misses a lot of time. And it's not that he wanted Cortland Sutton money; he wanted $10 million over Cortland Sutton money, and he's always injured. He does have an injury problem. And now it's starting to but again, he just came back from an injury, and he re-injured his right quad. His right quad is injured again. He injured his right quad, and he's not going to play on Sunday versus the Seahawks. But Jaden Daniels is going to be able to come back, so that's great. So they get there. It's again, they can't match anybody up. Jaden Daniels comes back. Oh, that's great. Scary Terry's gone. Scary Terry's back. Okay, but Jaden Daniels not going to play. So again, Washington is in this kind of flux here, which, by the way, and I did see Lloyd brought this up earlier in the chat. Washington is going to break out their Super Bowl era uniforms this week against the Seahawks, and suffice it to say, the comments under the announcement of that of Washington putting it out there is, well, if Josh Harris wanted to know kind of where the fan base was, where the pulse of the Washington fan base was, I think he's finding out. I think he's finding out that. Listen, at the end of the day, the name Commanders sucks. The name Commanders just sucks. It's not a good name. And here's the other thing I said about this too. When it comes down to it, the whole crux of the debate, like, listen, the fans want the Redskins name, people want the Redskins name, everybody's kind of wanted the Redskins name. As I had mentioned in a previous podcast when Jimbo was still here, and we went over, I was like, those decisions made in 2020 and 2021 when this country kind of collectively lost its fucking mind. And I think we could all agree on that. Just at that time, country fucking nuts. Everybody lost their mind. There were rash decisions made all over the place. And now it seems like things are kind of getting back to an equilibrium. It's like, oh, we went way over. Oh my God. All right, let's get back to center. Let's get back to nice equilibrium, nice together like that. So it seems like it's trending towards that way. And that's what people are clamoring for. That's what people want. And I'm going to be honest with you. Like, again, my personal opinion, obviously, as you see here on the channel, we refer to them as the Washington Redskins. We still do. We still will do that. Part of me thinks, like, my hypothesis is if they would have stuck with Washington football team, I think, honestly, a lot of people would have been okay with it. Even the Redskins crowd would have eventually gotten over it, especially if they would have kept the uniforms the same. If they would have had these uniforms that they're trucking out now, the Super Bowl era, where everything is the same as the Redskins, except they put the W on the helmet instead of Chief Two Guns. If they would have done that, I think even then eventually the Redskins crowd would have adopted and acclimated to the Washington football team. I honestly do. I think the thing that really really has twisted everybody's nipples is the fact that the Commander's name is so bad that people are like, no. Like, I would get back to the original name now. And now that they're putting out these uniforms, which are Redskins and everything except the logo, which is, again, is not an offensive logo. If you want to say the name is offensive, if you want to try that argument, which is kind of a tired argument we know of at this point anyway, when talking to actual Native Americans and people who would be impacted by said name, even if you want to make that argument, the logo itself, drawn by a member of the Blackfoot Nation, of a member of the Blackfoot Nation, and done so in a respect, like, it's not a caricature. It's not like the weird big nose Chief Wahoo, which, again, I can understand the point of that one. I can understand that, hey, Chief Wahoo, maybe not the best representation of Native Americans. I get it. I understand that. I'm willing to talk to you and meet you halfway on that, 1,000%. But to sit there and say that the Washington Redskins logo was racist or offensive in some way, that never rang true to me. And it didn't ring true to anybody else. It didn't ring true to the Native Americans. So I know someone's going to sit there and say, well, you're just a straight white male. You shouldn't have an opinion on that matter. Well, you're a weird white liberal lady from the suburbs. Like, what do you, like, you have no say in what Native Americans feel or say anything. You know who's got the real say in how Native Americans feel about certain subjects and things? The Native Americans. That's who. And according to them, by massive poll after poll after poll after questions after poll, vast majority of them either have no problem with it or actually even like it and wear Redskins merchandise and paraphernalia. So I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what else to tell you. ELS in the chat, he says, I think it was the sponsors that made Yes, it was. It was FedEx. They said they were going to pull the sponsorship from their stadium and that other sponsors were going to pull their sponsorships if they didn't change it. Again, that was during 2020, during the whole, where everybody lost their minds, as we mentioned. Everything like that. Crafty in the chat says, it's just not looking like Washington's year this year. And it's not. Yeah, it's injuries are mounting up. They're not playing well. I can't say Jaden Daniels has had a sophomore slump because I haven't really seen him play too much or too consistently enough to really make that assessment. So we don't really know. Crafty says they should have changed their name to something that pays tribute to Native Americans, such as the Warriors or something of the like. I saw a lot of people say that. I saw Red Wolves was one. You could have the Washington Red Wolves. You could have changed it to the Red Wolves, which was probably my personal. If you had to change it, I think you could have done. You could have kept a lot of the uniform elements and everything like that, and just added pieces of that. I remember there was a logo guy out there, Fraser Davidson, great logo artist. I think he works for Cub Studio, and he put together a Red Wolves concept, which was a wolf's head, but in the shape of the spear, of the old Washington Redskins spear, and it looked amazing. It looked great. I was like, man, if they did something like that, I think people would have been a lot more accepting and eventually would have come around and accepted the fact, like, okay, the name's gone, but this is a pretty cool identity. We can say, we go from Redskins to Red Wolves, hail to the Red Wolves, hail, like, it's all the same thing. You could have done that, pack on the warpath. You could have, it still would have been all right. I think Commanders really, really screwed it up. Hamster in the chat. Great to see you, Hamster. Thank you so very much for joining us in the chat with the community. Jimbo in the chat says, how dare you support a channel with a king running it? How dare you? No kings! No king. Where's the no king crowd? We got to get the no kings crowd back in here. That was what there was people in the rubber room that ELS got introduced into the sister Discord channel, the Rubber Room, the other day. I think we scared his poor little soul. I love you, ELS, but you seemed a little shook by the end. That was funny. That was a good time. But thank you everybody for joining us in the chat. Jimbo, Hamster, Crafty, ELS, Seahawks Flock, all you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. And again, if you like what you're watching, and I don't know why you would, but if you do, please hit that like button, hit that share button, and if you have not yet, please hit that subscribe button. Now let's take a look. I want to take a look at another story here. Seahawks Flock. Oh, we definitely scared him. Yes, we did. Yeah, I think we scared ELS a little bit. He was. Crafty in the chat, he says cleansing the entire Native American element was a cowardly cop out, and I agree it was. And also when you think about it, I mean it kind of was raising. You erased the Native American element and put in the Washington Commanders, who were the ones who kind of erased the Native American element from the land anyway. So if anything, you've just compounded on a horrible, horrible event. Like, what are you doing? That's no good. There was something else I wanted to see. I saw this on ESPN, and it's an interesting take. Yeah, no, I'm excited for the throwbacks today. I'm excited for the Washington one. Again, I always loved the Redskins uniforms, so I always thought those were great. And these Packers, I'm excited to look at these Packers 1923 uniforms. I think that's going to be fun. But I did want to check another story here, and this was something that caught my eye. It says, polls show many NFL fans want more games despite injury risks to players. And I want to pull this up here, and we'll take a little read here. This obviously comes from the AP. Many NFL teams have lost star players to season-ending injuries or played without them for significant stretches, but a new poll finds that many football fans want more games, even if it means more risk. A Quinnipiac poll found that half of NFL fans say the league is doing enough to protect players from serious injuries. Most fans, 60%, support expanding the season, including many who say the move for players, which would include a salary increase, is worth the increased risk of injury. The NFL is nearing the midpoint of its season, marked by high-profile injuries that have knocked several key players out of action. The rest of the way, Dolphins five-time Pro Bowler Tyreek Hill, 49ers All-Pro Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, Malik Neighbors for the Giants, and, of course, Cam Scatterbo, as we know. Scatterbo, oh, God, why do they got to bring up my boy? Stop bringing up my boy. All have suffered season-ending injuries. Buccaneers wide receiver Mike Evans will see his streak of 1,000-yard receiving seasons end at 11 because of a broken clavicle, and those are just injuries amongst the biggest names. The poll suggests that, for the most part, blame isn't landing on the league. Why would it? It's football. It's just things are going to happen like that. The NFL has taken a strong measure to reduce injuries by making several rule changes over the years, including overhauling the kickoff. The poll has found that about half of U.S. adults approve of Bad Bunny as... What does Bad Bunny have to do with any of this? What the fuck do we care? Oh, okay, it was just part of it. All right. And most are also keen on moving the Super Bowl to President's Day weekend, so the game would always be followed by a holiday. This year, the NFL implemented a modified dynamic kickoff to eliminate high-speed collisions, which had contributed to a high number of injuries. Okay, we all know that. So that's an interesting take, and that's something that I've been saying for a while, is that I don't think people, like the players' union and players' representatives, seem to think that everybody's going to be against, like, oh, we don't want another game. We don't want another game. I truly feel like people are not against that. Especially, like, if you add in the second bye, I would say, like, part of me would say if you want to go ahead and eliminate the preseason altogether. But part of me thinks that the reduction of preseason games or working out hard, some of the practice restrictions that they have in training camp and during the preseason is part of the reason why we're getting a lot of injuries too. So I'm not sure how to really gauge that. But listen, I would be honestly fine if you add another game, if you drop just everybody gets 2 preseason games. But I think in those games, you should probably go all out in those games. Adjust the practice rules so you can start getting more hits, more contact, more pads practices. Get these guys out there. Get them in football shape. Get them in hitting shape so that when they hit the field, you don't have as many of these injuries. You're always going to have injuries in the NFL. I mean, it's a violent game. That's just part of it. But I think the reduction in some of the pad practices, the hitting in the practices, the way the union's done that. I think that needs to be adjusted a little bit. And obviously, I think if you add another game, I think, fine, reduce the preseason down to 2 games. But I think you have to do that. And adding a second bye is, I think, an absolute necessary. I think it's an absolute necessary that you would have to do if you go ahead to do that. And then you got a 20-week season. And you have a 20-week season. And then, like everybody says, you got a 20-week season. Super Bowl's going to be on President's Day weekend. And then everybody gets to have the holiday that they all wanted. You have the Super Bowl, and then the next day, some people do. I know some jobs don't have off on President's Day, and that's fine. But the federal workers will go ahead and do that, and some other ones as well. School kids will as well. So that's the other thing too. Having the kids be able to stay up and watch the Super Bowl and not have to worry about school the next day, that's a big thing as well. Hamster, yeah, he agrees with me. He does Hamster. He says second bye means more rest from injuries, 2 breaks in a year, and I think that's clearly something that would be implemented, and that we would have there. Hamster also agrees that the injuries will go down with a second bye. ELS hitting us more with some facts there. Jimbo says, let's see, what do we got? What did I miss? I missed a lot in the chat here. Crafty in the chat, he says, it drives me crazy that Jimbo uses a name other than Jimbo for a channel where he's known as Jimbo. I agree. I think Jimbo should change his YouTube name there. But say Levy, let Jimbo do what he does. That's why mine is King STS. I'm like, Crafty in the chat, he also says, it used to piss me off as a kid, always having to take a final exam the next day after the Super Bowl. Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, to get a lot of these kids, to get people into it, to get back into the sport. Yeah, putting it on in prime time is great, and having it go until 11 o'clock at night or whatever is fine. But on a school night, a lot of the younger kids, the 6, 7, 8-year-olds and stuff who have first grade, second grade or something, a lot of parents aren't going to let them stay up that late because they have school the next day. If you have the next day off, guess what, kid? Have an extra soda, get an extra sugar rush, watch the Super Bowl with us, and then crash out tomorrow until noon or whatever. Like, that's okay. Let mommy sleep in. I think that would work. You know what I mean? And it just makes sense. So, again, I think the 18-game schedule, 2 bye weeks, 20-week overall season, and then you have the Super Bowl with a federal holiday the next day. It makes too much sense. It makes too much sense here. By the way, ELS hitting us with some breaking news here. Amazon and the NFL announced a historic deal. The Black Friday matchup between the Eagles and Bears will be the first ever NFL game streamed worldwide. Oh, no, they broke that a while ago. I forgot about that. They did mention that they had brokered the deal to where that is going to be available in all countries and territories, something like 218 worldwide. So everybody's going to be able to watch Black Friday football. I wonder what the numbers are going to be. Especially, considering the fact that it's who is it? Eagles and Bears. If the Bears can stay competitive in this next stretch for the next month, I think the ratings will be good. Hey, Jimbo! Jimbo got his name back. All right, Jimbo STS. Great to see you. Great to see you. Oh, we got a new viewer here, Jimbo STS. Black Friday game was an exclusive game, open to bidding for any network to get it. Yeah. And that was at Amazon was able to get that. And that's the thing too, like, again, I don't know where the future is heading when it comes to NFL viewership and how we're going to watch these games. It should always be available for free for people to watch. And in some sense it is. I know they still have it where, if it's on NFL Network or if it's on Amazon and it's a local, but it's a local team, it has to be broadcast on local television. Like that was, I remember when the Jets played in London, it was exclusively on NFL Network, but you could watch it on, I think they had it on Channel 4 here in the New York area, that you could actually watch it because they do that. And with some of the streaming, I get it too, because a lot of people have Amazon Prime anyway now. That's thanks a lot to 2020 and all that happened there. But a lot of people do have Prime, so they have Prime Video. So it's not a massive hassle to have that. A lot of people already have Netflix, so that's not a massive hassle to have. The Peacock exclusive shit really bothers me because Peacock itself as a service is garbage. Anybody who tries to navigate or work with Peacock knows what a shitty service that is, and that you're basically forcing people to go there for, like, when they had the Chiefs Dolphins playoff game exclusively there, when they do their some of the exclusive Sunday, I think they do like an exclusive Sunday night game or something, and I think they're going to do an exclusive playoff game again there as well. Like, that shit bothers me. It's like, well, you better get it, otherwise it's you're rest out. Too bad. It's like, that bothers me. I just don't want to see it get to a point where you're gonna have to pay to see, like, your team regularly. You know, like, oh, I'm here in the New York area. I want to watch the Giants, but now in order for me to watch the Giants, even in my local area, I'm gonna have to pay X amount of dollars to see them. That shouldn't be. Like I said, even if it's on cable, even if it's on something else, they usually will broadcast it then on local TV so that you can watch it. I believe that is still a rule that they have in effect. But they, like, if that ever changes, that's where I think the problem's going to be real bad. Jimbo says, I don't care. Peacock app is top 3 in my opinion. How can you like that fucking app? You can't rewind. You can't fucking replay shit. You can't, like, it crashes half the times. Half the times it goes, the quality goes from, hey, not bad, to fucking potato. Like, I'm sorry. I can't, like, the Peacock app is fucking terrible. Just like in real life, I hate the cock. I really do. Hamster says one of the big, and I agree with that one as well. A lot of the problem is, like, for people, if they just want to switch channels, you can't. You have to leave the app, and then if you want to go back, you got to go back to the app, and then you got to search and go to the game, and then click on the game and start the stream. Like, it is a bit of a process. It is a bit of a process. Jimbo, yeah, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Love you, Donnie. So yeah, I mean, that's. I agree with the poll though, and I've been saying this for a while on here. I know you guys. Hamster's been saying it for forever in there. I know as well. I mean, Hamster wants more football in it. If it was up to Hamster, there'd be football 24 every day, every week, all year round. Just keep it fucking rolling. I get that too. You know, we all love football. We all love the football season, and it's great. So again, a little bit more football wouldn't be bad. And the thing for me, and maybe this is just my ADHD brain or whatever, the fucking 17 game. And having, like, records be like 8-9 or 9-8, like, it can't be just, like, nice and even. It's just, oh my God, it drives me up a wall. It gives me like that, I feel icky with it being a 17 game schedule. It's like, no, don't do that, don't do. But you get 18 games, you get a fucking 20 week, so you get a nice even number there. You have 18, nice and even number there. And you get a team that's fully 500. That's a 9-9 record. Nice and even. 9-9. Oh, God. Mwah. I love it. Make it work. It can work. It can work. Jimbo says, you like Taylor. I don't like Taylor. I love Taylor. You should see the wallpaper I have here. I love Taylor. Wait, I might have. Where is my Taylor wallpaper? Hold on one second. I'll show you my Taylor wallpaper, what I have now. Because just to let you know, this is what is currently on my computer screen. And then we'll go. I want to check out one thing. I want to see one question or two. And there. And I did. I missed her. I missed where they did that going to break. I missed her. But we finally did see her. And we caught up, and I did get the counter right, so that's good. But that's what's currently on my computer background screen. There we go. How are you not in love with that, Jimbo? How do you not love that? Just lovely. She's a lovely person. Jimbo says, so you contradicted your comment before that. What comment did I make before about Taylor? Did I say something bad? I would never say something bad about Taylor. Ever. Well, sometimes. Sometimes I say something bad about Taylor. But it's not about her personally or her music. Sometimes I think she makes bad choices. Maddie Healy being one of them. I mean, let's be honest. Maddie Healy, not the best decision for anybody to make in life, really. Let's be honest with that. I did want to see, I saw a couple questions out there I did want to kind of answer. And where was that? Oh, wait, I did see something. Hold on. Jimbo says, join our Discord, everybody, and I'll explain in there. Yes, you can join our Discord. By the way, link is down in the description below, along with our donation station and our merch store, if you'd like to. By the way, and I saw this image before. I don't have access to it right now. I will find. I think it was in Discord, so I could try to pull that up real quick. But it like that was it was something that was driving me personally, just driving me nuts, and I don't understand how we got to that. Was it in the Grossi one? Might have been in Grossi, or was it? Either way, okay. So basically, the point was the odds for the NFL MVP are out, and still sitting at 1 and 2 is Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. And I sat there and thought, what in the fuck? Like, how can we have that this year, looking at how these players are playing over across the league? Like, I think Baker Mayfield is 6th in odds. Daniel Jones is 7th. Jonathan Taylor is 8th. Oh, were you talking about Jonathan Taylor? Is that why you? I'm just started talking about. Were you talking about Jonathan Taylor? And that's why, because I was like, I think Daniel Jones deserves MVP over Jonathan Taylor. So that's the Taylor you're saying. I was not Jimbo. Anyway, but even so, like, these guys deserve to be not just higher, but above where Mahomes or Josh Allen is right now. Like, are we kidding ourselves? Like, if somebody out there can explain to me how, because again. And the reason I would actually have Daniel Jones over Jonathan Taylor in the MVP debate right now is because this Colts team is basically the same as last year's, except Tyler Warren as the rookie tight end and Daniel Jones as quarterback. That's really the big main difference in this Colts team. And looking at how these Colts have performed with Daniel Jones, looking at Daniel Jones and the numbers he's putting up, which, again, we have not seen in either 60 years in the NFL or ever in the NFL. But again, the thing is, I think people aren't giving him his due is because he's got the name and reputation from his time with the Giants. And he still has that Brian Daboll stink on him. And people are like, well, okay, it's not Daniel Jones. It's like, how is it not Daniel Jones? It's not the Colts. Because this Colts team is basically the same as they were fucking last year. So if you have a player that goes onto your team and now your team is having remarkable success, wouldn't that then say to the average viewer, to the average person that's watching, maybe it's that player that is making the difference? And if it's that player that's making such a difference that the Colts went from missing the playoffs and being a bad team last year to now currently being the best team in the NFL by every metric that you want to measure it by, I don't I don't understand it. And that's the thing that's going to bother me, like especially if Daniel Jones keeps up the pace that he's doing. He's already done it for half a fucking season now. And now we're going to, if he keeps this up the rest of the way, are they still going to punish him because of his time with the Giants? Are they going to try to say, well, it's really Jonathan Taylor? Well, Jonathan Taylor was on the team last year, and what did they do? Pittman was on the team last year. What did they do? That's all I'm going to say about that. That's all I'm going to say about that. Oh, by the way, yes, the rest of the chat is getting an introduction into Jimbo Gauge, the lovely language that Jimbo speaks himself. Ooh, that's not good, Lord. Lord in the chat saying my X account almost got hacked. That's never good. Let's certainly hope that doesn't happen. We don't need your nudes leaked out everywhere. That would be bad. I assume that's what it is. I have no idea. What do people do on Twitter these days? I just go on there to look for NFL news. That's my whole thing here. So yeah, I was gonna say ask any of the questions, but I think that one will do it. I think that'll be good enough there. That just the whole MVP thing. What do you guys think? That's a great thing. Whether you want to say it in the chat, if you're watching this after the live, if you want to mention in the comments, who would you have right now at the midway point of the NFL season, which we're at? We're going to the week 9 now. Who would you have right now as your NFL MVP? And maybe that's something I'll put together for next week. After next week, we'll do our mid-season NFL awards. Maybe even have a couple of ones of our own here. Of our own. My God, why am I speaking like that? I've been hanging around Jimbo far too long. I've got Jimbo Gauge coming out now as well. And I did see some news about that ELS, and I'm very interested to see how that goes. The Vikings are reportedly checking in with the Atlanta Falcons for a possible Kirk Cousins trade. So I'm interested to see where that goes, and if they decide to bring Kirko back there just for a little bit. Lloyd says John Kitna. There's a name from the past. Jimbo says Jalen Hurts is MVP. It's funny how the Eagles just barely survived getting the tush-push ban, and then what they did was simply make it even more of an obnoxious play and screw it up so badly that it's now for 100% getting banned in the offseason. The tush-push will not be allowed after 2025. It is getting banned. The fact of the matter, anything that's going to be like that, where you're going to have pushing, where you can push somebody else through the line, that's going to be banned. They are not going to do that anymore. And those will be flags from now on, especially like in effect when we don't even want to go into the Giants game. Whether the Giants would have won or not is here or there. You don't know how momentum would shift or change when certain things happen. Certainly, I think the fumble would have helped, which it was a fumble. Let's be honest here, and the officials just fucked that up so bad. No, Jimbo, see, here's the thing with a QB sneak, though, is that nobody's pushing the quarterback from behind on a QB sneak. So sometimes they did, sometimes they not, but that's what's going to be outlawed, is they're going to take that away for everything. So the QB sneak that you have where somebody isn't pushing behind, you're going to be able to do that. The moment you try pushing the ball carrier or whoever gets the ball, trying to push them, kind of like how the Bush push back we get Notre Dame. That's gonna be verboten, outlawed, guaranteed. You're not gonna be able to do that. Kind of same with on defense where you can't do that either. Where you can't push or pull or do anything like that. That's gonna be the same now for the offense. That's what they're gonna do. Jimbo says forward progress was Jimbo, please stop. Jimbo, just please stop. You're making me mad. Now you're making me so mad. That's a nice little graphic, ELS. Thank you so very much. ELS dropping in some graphics there in our Discord for our Stay Tuned Football Union, our fantasy league, which, man, I almost got you. I almost got you, ELS. I think we got one more game that we play And hopefully I'll be able to kick your ass then. That'll be nice. Lloyd in the chat says that, King, before I link it, have you seen the Washington Commanders pushback? I don't think I have. Or I don't even know by that. Do you mean like the name? Do you mean the name that they're doing? Jimbo, I swear to Christ, Jimbo, I am going to throw your ass in a timeout if you don't stop. Which, by the way, though, for the Devils, we had our 8-game win streak snapped last night by the Colorado Avalanche after we had beaten them 2 nights previous at home because we had put in Markstrom. Can we not do that? Can we let's leave Allen in there and let Markstrom sit and relax. I would like to have Allen as our starting quarterback. Well, the goalie is the quarterback of an NHL team if you really think about it. Yeah, I did mention it. I did talk about that earlier, Lloyd, about how everybody is letting their feelings be known about how they, especially with the Super Bowl era uniforms coming, how they feel about the name situation. And I did bring that up. We did have a little bit of a discussion about it, and again, I think I agree. Like the pushback from the fans, from the general public, especially seeing this, it just seems like. Again, I don't want to get into the whole conversation again, but it feels like I said, the equilibrium. We're starting to get back to an equilibrium after 2020 and 2021, where everything was like, everything went real nuts to one side. It seems like we're getting back to an equilibrium, and maybe we'll get again. Jimbo said he thought within 3 to 5 years the name would be back. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, and I hope to see 2 guns on the helmet again soon, and in his rightful place, and as far as the name, we'll see what happens. But again, the push is there. People want it. People never wanted it to go away to begin with. So we'll see. We'll see how they do all that. We'll see how everything like that gets figured out. Who's the Thursday night game this week? Isn't it the Cardinals are Monday night. Cardinals on Monday night. So let's see, week 9. Who do we have week 9? Let's see some of the matchups and who we might be watching. Coming up this week. We will watch the Giants, unfortunately. The Giants are going to be playing the 49ers, and we'll be wearing our legacy uniforms, our nice throwbacks there. Ravens Dolphins tomorrow. And again, I don't know who to pick because again, the Dolphins look good. The Ravens defense is still bad. Lamar Jackson is coming back. They're playing in Miami. Like, part of me really wants to pick the Dolphins. Part of me really, really wants to pick the Dolphins. I think I'm gonna go with the Ravens, though. I'll make the decision now, and I won't be able to go backsies on it because this is it. Because can't do it on Friday forecast, obviously. I will pick the Baltimore Ravens for Thursday night football. ELS in the chat says trivia will be needed for Thursday night. We'll see. Maybe we'll get a good game. Thursday night football has been more good than bad this year. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think it'll be all right. Alicia in the chat says, "Fly Eagles, fly." Alicia, you're a Ravens fan. Stop it. Jimbo says Ravens by 65. It would have been funny if you would have said 69. 69 would have been funnier. I would imagine Alicia probably would have said 69, knowing her. ELS has Ravens 21, Dolphins 3. I don't think it's going to be that bad. I don't think the Ravens are blowing them out. I don't. Like I said, I think the Dolphins, like, part of me wants to pick them. I'm not. I'm not getting burned by that. Just because the Dolphins had a real good game against the Falcons. But again, the Falcons are one of those NFL teams where there's a lot of NFL teams this year that are that week 1 good, week 2 bad, week 3 good, week 4 bad. Like, everybody's so fucking inconsistent. I have no idea where to go from that. Alicia said, I know, I just want to be random. Oh, Alicia, I have met a lot of people in my life, and not too many have been more random than you. So you don't have to try to be random. I think you just naturally are, as random as it gets. Jimbo says if Pink Eye Tua shows up, then the Dolphins might say exactly. If I'm Tua, I'm showing up with a patch the rest of the season. I don't care if I got pink eye or not. I'm covering that son of a bitch up and I'm just slinging it like he did. Apparently, old one-eye Tua is a better quarterback than 2020 vision Tua. Who knew? But okay, I got all right. I think it's time we go. I think it's time we end this stream. I think it's time we get out of here. But thank you, everybody, so much for joining us here on Stay Tuned Sports on this Wednesday. We talked about Aidan Hutchinson. We talked about the Commanders the Redskins, but the Commanders and their uniforms and the name change and all of that. We've had that discussion as well. We talked about NFL polling, saying that a vast majority of the fans, more than 60%, want more NFL games. They want the 18-game schedule, and they want the Super Bowl on President's Day weekend, which, again, 18-game schedule, 20 weeks, Super Bowl on President's Day weekend, that can work. Jimbo in the chat says, one more story. What is this, an encore? Is this a concert? One more song. It's not how this works. It's not how any of this works. But I think we had a good show. I think we had a good time. I certainly hope that you enjoyed it as well. Again, if you liked any part of this show, and why would you, please go ahead and hit that like button. Hit the share button. Share this channel around. Let people know, friends, family, whoever, unsuspecting strangers, whoever you'd like. Let them know that we exist and see if they like us or not. And again, if you're here for the first time, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell. Alicia wants shots. Which I might do after this. After this chat, I might need that. And I love all you guys in the chat. Thank you guys so very much for all your love, for all your support, and everything you do. And again, no matter what, if, ands, buts, disagreements or not, remember, I love you guys, all of you, even if you don't think I do. I love you from deep in the cockles of my heart and from the heart of my cock. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us here on Stay Tuned Sports, presented by W, by the way. Go to w.gg, dubby.gg, and enter the code STSports to get 10% off your first order. Thank you so much for joining us here on Stay Tuned Sports. We will see you tomorrow night for Thursday Night Football when the Dolphins and Ravens will clash down Miami Gardens. A lot of people say South Beach. It's not technically South Beach. It's Miami Gardens. But a beautiful Hard Rock Stadium. We'll be there watching live with you. Join us. ELS will have trivia ready to go. We'll have fun. We'll have laughs. We'll cry. We'll get mad. We'll get bored maybe. I don't know. The future is unwritten. We have no idea what's coming. But isn't that the fun of life? As I get a little philosophical as we get ready to go. Adios, everybody. Have a great rest of your Wednesday.